As many people tested positive for the virus amid the Omicron surge, some are dealing with another problem. They continue to test positive for the virus even after the isolation period ends.
Fox 12 spoke with OHSU's infectious disease expert about this. Our Bridget Chavez is here now with the takeaways for someone who's still getting those positive results.
Yeah, guys, it basically comes down to the type of test you're using and when. OHSU's Marcel Kerlin says PCRs can pick up the virus for up to 90 days, but that doesn't mean you're still infectious.
Andrew Keller first tested positive for COVID-19 on January 6th, but now, weeks later,
I'm still testing positive, and I was told by my doctor that I will test positive for the next 90 days or so.
he says he no longer has symptoms, but the positive result has left him with an uneasy feeling.
I was very concerned, and everybody is so concerned in the world about getting a positive COVID test, and now you think to yourself, are you going to keep spreading it around?
Marcel Kerlin, an infectious disease expert at OHSU, says it's common for people to continue to test positive after their initial isolation period, especially if they're using a PCR test.
So that's a common scenario. Someone gets COVID, 10 days go by, 15 days go by, and then they get a PCR test, and lo and behold, it's still positive. They feel fine, and they don't know what to do about it. That doesn't mean that you have ongoing infection.
Kerlin recommends using a PCR to initially detect if you have COVID, and then on day 5, use a rapid antigen test. If you're still positive, he says, continue your isolation to 10 days.
The antigen test is considered to track a little better with your state of infectiousness. So it might miss an early infection, it might miss a late infection, but it's considered to be better evidence of infectiousness.
But he says for those who are immunocompromised or take medications that suppress your immune system, you may need to isolate longer because you could still be contagious.
For those people, they can remain infectious a little bit longer just because the virus sticks around a little longer. And the CDC says, and we use these guidelines too, that up to about 20 days in some cases, you want to maybe isolate up to about 20 days.
I also asked Kerlin if people should stay away from those who are still testing positive. And he says, again, in general, after 10 days, most people are no longer infectious, but the best protections we have are vaccinations and masking. Reporting live in studio, Bridget Chavez, Fox 12 Oregon.